Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of Awan Answers, where I, Ijaz, answer your business and startup related questions. Can't believe we're on episode 6 already. Time's flying by. And look how rough I am, guys. It's been a busy week. Not even had time for a haircut or a shave. So excuse the rough look. But right, let's get into it. For those of you that are new here, here's the layout of the show. You have to ask your questions via Snapchat only. I'm not accepting questions via YouTube in the comments. I'm not accepting questions via Twitter. Only through Snapchat, all right, guys? So Max, can you throw out my Snap code here somewhere? Pause the video, screenshot this, upload it onto Snapchat, add me as a friend, and then get asking your questions, all right? So you know what we need to do now, guys. Let's get it. Rightio, question number 1. What are your tips for firing or letting go of staff? Jeez, what a downer. Fun question to start off the show. Guys, this is a tough topic and there's no real right answer to doing this, all right? But I want to flip this on you. Why are you looking to fire your member of staff? Are they not good enough? Is that what you think? Are they just not performing and, I ask them to do this and they don't do it, or they deliver their work too late, or they're just not good enough? I want to flip it. Maybe it's you who aren't good enough. As a leader, as an entrepreneur, it's your job. It's your job to get the best out of every team member within your organization. All right? And you need to ensure you provide your team members with the best resources, the best vision so they understand where the business is going, the best path for them to grow as an individual, and the best environment, i.e. make sure they're comfortable. If they have health issues, are you taking care of them? If they have financial issues, what are you doing for them there? Are you providing an environment where they feel comfortable so they can produce their best work? If you're unable to do that, then you're going to find yourself having to let go of staff far more often. So that's what I want you to do, guys. I want you to flip the switch there. I want you to look at the situation as, what more can I do to engage this member of staff and to make sure they're comfortable at work? All right? I've had this before. A member of staff was not performing very well in one of the stores, and long story short, the reason they weren't is because they were contracted to work until 6 p.m., but they really just wanted to get off at 5:30 to pick up their son from football practice. And so it was such an easy fix for me. All I had to do was, I said to her, why don't you just work half an hour on your lunch, finish half an hour early, and go pick up your son? That's important to her. And what I found was she became far more engaged. She became far more focused, and she was delivering greater work simply because I took a moment to identify what was important to her and how can I make her feel comfortable within the working environment. All right? So guys, take a moment to turn it around, look at it at the viewpoint of what can I do as a leader to add value to my team members and to make it comfortable for them to work with me. Now, don't get me wrong. After doing all of that, you will still get the 1 in 100 or the 1 in 200 staff member who just does not want to play ball. And no matter what, health plan benefits or cash flow procedures you add in place to help their life become more comfortable, they won't want to cooperate with you, okay? And my tip there would be to make sure you follow all the procedures, make sure you have an audit trail of where you've provided the training, you've made it clear to them of what you expect them to do and what's in their job description, and just keep an audit trail of where they're being non-cooperative. That will make it far more easier for you to let them go when you need to. All right, so thank you for the question. Good question, a bit salty to start off with, but let's get on to the next question. Salty. Special effects. Rightio, guys, question number 2. Did you have any subconscious issues when starting your business, i.e. fear of success, thinking you aren't worth the money, or anything else? If so, what did you do to overcome it? Wow. Guys, just to start off straight off the bat here, I was fortunate enough to never have those sort of issues. It's probably because of my upbringing and my parents, but I was brought up with a great amount of confidence, with a great amount of just bravado to know that I'm going to go and achieve no matter what, no matter how many people tell me I can't, no matter how many people say, you know what, you're not going to achieve this or you won't amount to anything. I just had this sheer belief in myself that I would make it happen. And I also knew that I was going to put in the work to make it happen, and therefore I knew I would deserve it when I got there. And that's a fundamental bit there. I didn't just think I was going to make it because I'm going to get lucky one day and win a lottery, or somebody's going to give me a chance or a break. I knew I was going to make it because I was going to put in the work. I knew I was going to put in every brick of that wall myself. Okay? I was never looking for a freebie or somebody to give me a way in. And for those people that find themselves sabotaging themselves and feeling like they aren't worthy of this success, and maybe this is because of beliefs that, you know, people around you have put into you and told you you don't deserve it, I applaud you to change your mindset. Start believing that you really do deserve it. And you do deserve it because you're going to put in the work. And so who's to tell you you don't deserve it? All right? So it's all about changing your mindset, changing the way you view it. And another thing I find really helps in this situation is to understand that you're not just on this journey so you can achieve. You're on this journey so you can get to a point at the top of the ladder so that you can look down and pull other people up with you to develop a community of people who succeed. Okay, so when you feel like, oh, I don't deserve this, I'm on this journey and I find myself sabotaging myself, remember, you're trying to get to the top so you can pull other people up. And so you need to revisit your intentions and maybe make it less selfish and more about helping others when you get there. All right, so I hope that helps. Right guys, question 3. Check this out, coming from Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Good stuff guys. Good point here. Please do not forget to include your filters, your location filters, when you snap me. It just makes me smile when I see them. So yeah, I want to start a business, but I need to focus on my studies too. How do I manage? Brilliant question guys. And this is the exact type of question I want to target because it's very important for my audience. Especially with a lot of you being youngsters who want to get into entrepreneurship. And Max, I've actually made a video on this before where I've touched upon this. Let's try to dig that out and throw it up here. If you can't find it, then I guess there's nothing up here. But yeah, so, and what it comes down to is how badly do you want it? Yeah? So you sat over there in Dubai. How badly do you want this? How badly do you want to run your own business? You say you want to start your own business, but how bad? I actually posted a post on Instagram saying, how badly do you want it, Max? More interesting for you? Throw that up here. How badly do you want it? And if you want it bad enough, you will put in the work. And that's what it comes down to. I started my first business when I was 15, when I was at school studying for 12, 13 GCSEs. I spent all day at school, at a really bad school where I had poor teachers, so I wasn't learning much. So when I got home, I had to sit in front of the textbooks until midnight, and then from midnight to the early hours of the morning, I was running my business. Because I wanted it, I was willing to sacrifice that time. How badly do you want it? That's the question. You know, the other thing is, you need, at that young age, maybe you need to think about what are all the times when maybe you're sitting there watching TV programs, or your friends are out playing football, or going out to the cinema with their friends, or having coffee, or just wasting time. Maybe you need to reevaluate those aspects. I guarantee if I looked at your day, I'd find 4 to 5 hours where you're just doing nothing. And it's those hours where you need to make them count. You need to invest those hours into your future because you know you're on a path to achieve something special. You're not like everybody else. And so you don't need to spend your time with everybody else. You're focused on your journey, your mission, becoming the best version of yourself. Right guys, question number 4. How do I determine my optimum product mix? Good question guys. As a lot of you may or may not know, I have helped the UK's largest independent chain of opticians grow over 100% in the last 4 years. And one of the exercises we always conduct is to make sure wherever our stores are located, the product mix is targeted for the specific demographic that it's placed in. You'd be amazed at the number of retail stores we acquire and we see that are struggling simply because they do not have the right product mix. They do not understand their demographic and the products are not aligned with their demographics. For example, if you have a demographic of 2/3 female to 1/3 male, surely your product mix should be aligned with it, right? Shouldn't be the other way around. If you're selling glasses in this case, you should have 2/3 glasses for males and 1/3 for females. That's how it should work. And so I applaud you, whatever your product is, whether you're selling clothes or whether you're selling glasses or whatever, make sure your product mix is aligned with your demographics. Okay, so segment that by age, segment it by gender, segment it by preferences of brand or materials. Whatever it is, understand your demographic, understand what they want, and then put your product range into that mix. Now, there's another dimension to this to make it a bit more complicated. Of course, you're going to want to sell products at different price ranges as well. But in order to do that, and again, I've touched upon this before, you need to understand where do you want to position yourself. You can't position yourself everywhere. You can't be a cheap brand and an expensive brand at the same time. And being in the middle, you're vulnerable to getting knocked away by other businesses. So if I was you and I'm running a retail operation, I'd focus on either trying to be the cheapest, which is difficult if you're a small business, and trying to be more niche, more customer service driven and attention to detail where you can command a higher premium on your products. Okay? Now, let's say you go and decide you want to be a niche at the higher end. You still want to provide a range. You don't want to say, these are all my products, they're all expensive, nobody else can come into my store. So you want to have a range of really expensive and also coming down into your mid and core range. But the skew of where you position your products will be based on how you want your store to be positioned in the market. All right? So that's the key, guys. Understand where you want to position yourself, understand your clients, find out what they want, and then provide it to them. And that should dictate your product mix. All right? But please do not just do it off gut feel. I've seen that too many times, and too many retailers fail because they try to do their merchandising and product mix on sheer gut feel. Make sure it's documented, make sure there's a plan, plot the graphs. Max, I've done a document here, just put a little screenshot here for the kind of exercise they need to do so they can get an idea of plotting the trends, and then, yeah, execute on it. Right, guys, I'm out of breath now. That was episode 6 of Awan Answers. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And also, guys, come on, let's get sharing these videos. Pass them on to 1 or 2 people who you feel will find this beneficial, and that will really help me out. All right, so I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, let's get it.